Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 10 here at Grand Prix Dallas Fort Worth. It is the first round of draft action. I'm Brian David Marshall. I'm joined by Pro Tour Hall of Famer Randy Buehler, and there you see Gregory Orange and Shuhei Nakamura. We got to flip those graphics around. Shuhei is on your left, Gregory there on the right. Gregory, a ninth place Pro Tour finisher. Actually a noted control player. So curious to see how he drafts. We're underway. Swamp, Plains, into Fetid.
Fetid, so good in that deck. The black-white deck that just wants to get to the late game. It's a good man.
Fetid gets in, just double white, and there's an Nantuko Husk for Shuhei. Blessed Spirits. So, are we seeing black-white enchantments versus black-white enchantments?
That's what it looks like so far.
Because that would explain where all the enchantments went.
It would. It totally would.
For Shuhei's deck.
White-green is what our spotter seems to say.
Okay, so Blessed Spirits gets in the way of a Fetid, makes Shuhei use a mana to give it Death Touch, and he passes the turn. Fourth mana, Charging Griffin.
All white for Greg.
In comes Nantuko Husk.
Yeah, Shuhei's definitely content to trade the Husk.
Oh, yeah.
With, what, 2 Cruel Revivals in his deck? Or 1 Cruel Revival? Pat has the other
one. 1 Cruel Revival, 2 Unholy Hungers.
Sure. Nantuko Husk is a zombie, does come back with Cruel Revival.
All right.
So here we are, 6 mana and 20 life. Shuhei wins.
I mean,
just game's over. Greg finally comes up with green mana.
I feel like it's a good place for Shuhei to be. Oh, I see it. Very fitting card for Gregory Orange, given the kind of decks he's played on the Pro Tour. He's holding Tragic Arrogance.
Oh, wow. That is a bomb card.
Okay, there's a Somberwald Alpha, one of many that were also running wild around the table.
Sure.
7 mana for Shuhei Nakamura.
Yeah, I mean, he could just be flooded. Wow, he's holding 2 more lands. He is wildly mana flooded. Is that 2 lands in his hand or 3?
It looks like 3.
I mean, I definitely see Caves of Koilos and Plains.
Okay, you have a Force Mage. Targets the Charging Griffin. Attack for 5. Uh-oh. He's down below 10.
That's 9 lands, 3 spells, and 1 card we're not sure of? Okay.
Okay. Blood Curse Knight. Nantuko Husk does not attack.
That's all that.
There's the Somberwald Alpha.
It makes the Force Mage a little harder to trade with.
Yeah, blocking is more tricky now.
Yeah, I mean, the Blood Crazed Knight can still probably trade, barring a trick, but you might consider double blocking so you're defended against the trick.
Shuhei just goes to 4.
Wow, he just takes it. Doesn't attack and doesn't block? That's surprising.
Plays Charging Griffin. All right.
Yeah.
Everybody comes in.
Somberwood Alpha's in the house. Just turn them sideways. They get bigger when they're blocked. They can get trample. Shuhei hasn't shown any resistance, really. I mean, from Greg Orange's point of view, what is Shuhei up to, right? Show me something.
Just line something up in front of everything. He's
Alpha triggers. The Husk is actually a chump block right here.
Yeah.
But I think Shuhei's expecting.
Griffin.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. So Husk is going to eat Charging Griffin. That's Shuhei's plan. That makes sense. Yeah. Greg wisely sees that coming, so he gives the Charging Griffin trample. It's going to trample for at least 1, maybe more.
He's got a Titanic Growth in hand.
So he does. He just Titanic Growth the Charging Griffin, right? Well, that's the one he gave trample, so it seems like, oh, he's not going to use the Titanic Growth. Trample.
He doesn't have to show it to Shuhei. Everything got bigger from the Somberwald Alpha's ability, and then gave trample to 2 of his creatures, and Shuhei's like, nope, I'm done.
I think technically Shuhei could let all of his creatures die and be at 1.
Yeah.
I don't think he was actually dead, but like his plan of pumping up the Nantuko Husk by eating the Charging Griffin was was now lethal to Shuhei, so.
So looking in here on Jesse Hampton versus Josh Utter Leighton. Jesse Hampton has Shadows of the Past in play. Totem Guide Heart Beast. Looks like he's cast Read the Bones. And a couple of Guardian Automatons manning the gates for Josh Utter Leighton.
Sure. Josh trying to pick up some more points in his quest for Worlds. Jesse trying to get back to the Platinum status he had a couple of years ago.
Knight of the White Orchid. Can't see how. It looks like 3 creatures are in Jesse's graveyard.
Blessed Spirits.
I see a Topen Freeblade. Maybe a second one there. I see Read the Bones. Yeah, it looks like a shambling zombie. Oh, the zombie. There's a Blood Curse Knight. It's on because of the enchantment.
Indeed.
Josh is like, go.
So Blood Crazed Knight heads over.
Guardian Automaton has to deal with that.
Double block.
Kills one.
Yeah.
But he's now turned on his... We actually could see Shadows of the Past get activated. 4 creatures are in the graveyard. I'm very excited. Gets to scry twice. But...
Patron of the Valiant, 4/4 flyer. No +1/+1 counters floating around.
I have never seen that put a +1/+1 counter on anything.
Oh, I did in a draft the other day. It was a win more, but
all right, well,
happens.
As much as I'd like to stay and watch Shadows of the Past get activated, we're going to go back to our main match right now between Shuhei Nakamura and Greg Orange. They're underway, and looks like a Topen Freeblade has attacked into an Undercity Troll and Enshrouding Mists to save the Freeblade, but no third land for Nakamura. Okay, Knight of the Pilgrim's Road.
You have to just keep blocking, right?
Yeah, I mean, you blocked last time, you got to block again, right?
Your new guy is like, is a 3-drop. You're sort of trading down, but then again, I'm not even convinced which of those is better.
So, Somberwald Alpha comes down for Greg Orange after Stalwart Aven from Shuhei. He gets to renown his Aven, plays Auramancer, and
Vanilla
says go.
2/2. Does he even have that many enchantments to get back? He doesn't, right? I don't think deck lists have been brought by, but...
In comes the Alpha. Cannot block it with the Auramancer profitably or even equitably.
Right.
And there is Charging Griffin. Both creatures attack for Shuhei. He's still scuffling on 3 lands here. Plays his Blood Curse Knight.
Attacking with the Aven, rather than trying to block the Charging Griffin, is an interesting choice. It's like he's trading 2 damage for receiving 3. But if he does block, he dies to any combat trick in the set.
Well, also the Griffin becomes a 4/4 if he blocks because of the Somberwald Alpha. Somberwald Alpha is
of course, you're right. That's
basic
I
ability.
forgot about the Somberwald Alpha.
So Right now, the Blood Curse Knight.
Yeah,
is
Shuhei has no choice but to raise. You're right.
Elvish Visionary. In.
Yeah, try to trade with the alpha. That makes sense.
Gives it
That
trample.
works. Point of trample damage, but Shuhei is quite happy with that exchange.
Oh, absolutely.
Trades card for card with the alpha. Now he can block the charging.
Got
Griffin.
another Enshrouding Mist in hand. He could have actually attacked with the. Could have attacked with the Stalwart Haven here, and ambushed the Griffin.
Wow. You're right. Card does so much for 1 mana. +1/+1, prevent all damage, and it's a free untap. Why would he not?
Free,
do
yeah,
that?
if the creature has a +1/+1.
If the creature's
counter.
renowned.
Right. But Stalwart Haven is just holding off the Charging Griffin regardless. So 8 mana now for Greg Orange.
Is Shuhei just not thinking about the untap possibilities?
I don't know.
It seems like a pretty obvious. I mean, he's got 1 mana left over. It's a pretty efficient play. His attack gets in damage, and then he probably gets to ambush the Griffin. I mean, I guess he's setting himself up to get 2 for 1 if
Right.
Orange has a trick.
Right.
So it's
Maybe
risky,
thinking about
but
Celestial Flare. Or
yeah, I mean, or even a Titanic
there are a
Growth.
few of those going around the table.
No, Titanic Growth doesn't 2 for 1, and it's just 1 for 1.
Yeah. 5 mana. Tragic Arrogance.
Oh my.
So you get to keep your Auramancer. I get to keep my Charging Griffin. Not as bad as far as things go.
True.
Not too brutal of a Tragic Arrogance. Deadbridge Shaman for a Nakamura. So Nakamura falls to 7. Wolf for Gregory Orange. There's a Grasp of the Hieromancer. So he can get in for 6 here. And oh, but then you got the Foundry of the Councils, which can make 2 flyers.
Oh right, so
he can't even get any damage through here.
Greg can put lethal damage onto the board and attack for 7 next turn. Shuhei has to worry about hanging out and blocking.
He's putting the Grasp on. Okay. Attacks for 4.
Now Greg has to decide whether he wants to crack for the 2 flyers. Could double block here. I don't know about that though. He discards his card if he does that. I'm not sure if his card's any good or not.
Right, it costs him a land and a card.
And 2 flyers.
Right.
I mean, Shuhei has shown no ability to deal with Charging Griffin, so adding a couple Thopters to this board. Take 4. Okay.
Okay. He does take 4.
Yeah, I like this
Makes
line.
the tokens at the end of the turn.
Now he can attack with the Wolf, which will force the Wolf to trade with Auramancer, and Shuhei does not have a lethal crackback that Greg Orange knows about.
Right. He has to take a damage to use Enshrouding Mists here.
Second.
Oh, Somberwald Alpha.
Now Auramancer is obliged to chump block.
Except that he can... Can Shuhei steal this game?
Yeah.
At 1
absolutely.
life?
With +1/+1 on the Deadbridge Shaman to take it from a 4-power attacker to 5-power. Yeah, I mean, I think from Greg's point of view, if he turns all his creatures sideways, Shuhei is obliged to chump block and doesn't have a lethal crackback.
Right.
But any combat trick from Shuhei could win it. The same thing's true on Greg's side. Any combat trick from Greg would win it also.
All right, he decides to slow play it. He's just going to attack with the charging griffin and the token and leave a token and 2 blockers back, and then he can kill Shuhei next turn.
It's pretty smart. Shuhei had 10 land last game, only has 3 this game.
He really needed to average those out.
Indeed. Shuffle his true draws together. They're probably pretty good. The way he actually drew them, this is a tricky spot.
Attack, attack.
Tap down. A flyer? Okay. Greg is willing to take the 2/2. Shuhei has to come up with +3 for lethal. Does not have it. So
wow.
Gregory Orange
10-0.
10-0.
With green white. I guess we didn't really see renown from him. Green white control.
I mean, sometimes you just draft some cards.
Good stuff.
I mean,
some world alphas
like that, right?
were coming around that table super late.
Yeah, green white wolves.
Yeah.
Timber Pack, Somber Wild.
So Jesse Hampton got that game 1.
Okay.
Probably on the back of Shadows of the Past. And Josh Leighton is
showing us the 3rd color.
oh yeah, I didn't even see that. Jund. A lot of black-white in the feature match area this round. Shadows of the Past.
It's back. What does this card do exactly?
So whenever a creature dies, scry 1.
Okay.
If there are 4 more creatures in your graveyard,
yes,
you can pay black and 4 to drain life to your opponent.
Also, it's an enchantment.
It is an enchantment. Relevant.
Yeah, we saw Blood Craze Knight in the last game.
I can't see how many cards are in. I know that Jesse likely returned Centaur himself there. Don't know how many creature cards are in his graveyard. I can't see it under the bar.
His graveyard's off camera to the top, isn't it?
There's a Crow and Sergeant. Okay.
I promise, I've put a +1/+1 counter on something with that card. It's
been
done.
I believe you.
The thing is, it's still 4/4 flying
yes,
for
it's
5.
Still, it's still
fine.
It's still a giant air elemental.
Right. It borders on trinket text. Just a little something. Yeah, card's pretty close to 4/4 vanilla. Certainly puts more counters on it. It was a green-white deck I had when I actually triggered it.
So it looks like 2 creatures in Jesse's yard. Okay. Veteran sidearm. And go.
Fetid Imp doing a pretty good job of holding off that 4/4 flyer. Feels like Josh's board is got a lot invested in Fetid Imp right here.
Fetid Imp decks generally end up that way. Like, all right, buddy. You got a lot of work to do.
The opponent can never bring themselves to attack into it and trade down.
Well, look at that. Enshrouding Mist saves. Doesn't even wait for it to get Death Touch. I guess not really. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Scry
technically
1.
he should have made Josh spend a mana.
Keeps it on top.
Hard to imagine Josh has much else to do with that mana here, but yes.
You macabre waltz back the Fetid Imp here.
I mean, you do what you got to do.
Yeah, he's still at 20.
Macabre Waltz, I actually think is pretty good in this format. You get enough of these games where stuff's just trading off that discarding that, you know, extra land you don't really need to bring back 2 guys. Can be very powerful. I mean, Josh is not quite to that point in the game. There's only 1 creature in his yard. He's only got the 4 lands in place. He's not really done playing them. Man, Shrouding Mist does so much.
Yeah.
I mean, +1/+1, and prevent all the damage, and sometimes it's an untapped trick. Although not very often. I mean, actually, that's one I haven't seen come up yet.
Okay, enthralling Victor.
The untapped part.
Take.
Interesting.
Wow, take your Centaur, attack with everybody.
David De La Cruz or David De La Cruz. David De La Cruz. We have found your debit card.
Hayne and Maynard.
You see Pascal and Alexander Hayne sitting next to each other, still playing Magic. So Guardians of the Miletus gets in front of the 3/3 Akron Sergeant. Topin Freeblade looks like it's lining up to take down the Deadbridge Shaman. Yep, that's
Deadbridge Shaman always seems to create, it just creates profitable trades.
yeah. Wow.
Oh,
Discards on Holy
whoa.
Hurry.
How
Yes.
good is the last card?
He has 2 Scry Triggers on the stack that, does he have 4 creatures in his yard?
Evidently.
Okay.
Shadows of the Past doing work.
All right. Get in. Green must be the splash color for Josh under Leighton, because I see a card like Majoring Bully in his hand.
Yeah. I mean, you just look at the cards he's played.
Yeah. Yeah,
They're-
right.
they're
the
red and
Akron
black.
Sergeant and the Victor.
Shadows of the Past continuing to do work.
Jesse can just hide behind his, 10 points of toughness here.
Did he forget the Scry Trigger last turn?
He did. 2 of them.
He did the damage,
Yes.
but then he drew a swamp. I'm guessing the swamp that he played was not kept over Unholy Hunger when the Deadbridge Shaman died.
Okay. Block, block. Activates Shadows of the Past.
Modern Holland 13 Modern Holland 13 Your event is ready to begin. Please come to the driving venue concessions. Modern Holland 13
Uh-oh. Did he not have 4? He didn't have 4 creatures.
Oh, jeez.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah, sounds like it. He's been activating Shadows of the Past with less than 4 creatures in his yard.
Took my turn, drew my card, played my mana.
Think-
He said go, he attacked me, blocked me.
Okay, so since we've activated this the second
What does the
time,
judge do here?
I don't know. I mean, you can just,
so
I guess you can just dial back.
Right, it's pretty easy to undo the one that just happened right before
the
Jesse
first one
untapped.
was too far back to deal with. The second one, we actually have to get approval from all threes for backup.
But what
so
do you, I
hang
mean, the
on
one which
second.
was a
I'll
couple of
appreciate it
turns
if you
ago.
I think it was one full just turn cycle ago. He did it at the end of the last turn and the end of this turn.
And now I think Jesse's untapped for his turn, right?
Yeah. This would drop Jesse to 12 and put Josh back up to 16. And I don't know if they'll do that or not. Okay.
Sounds like they're going to undo the one activation, which is within the last turn cycle, but the other one is too far back, so they're going to undo one of them.
Too far back in the shadows.
Yeah.
What's the judge ruling on the penalty for Jesse? Does he get just a warning? Okay, so we're still waiting on a judge here.
It's probably a warning, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's still only like 2 weeks that these cards have been out.
Oh yeah. I don't think anybody thinks anything malicious is going on.
Yeah, I thought it was 3, but like with the bar, the way it's set up there, it's possible that there was just a creature I wasn't seeing.
Sure. Yeah, when he activated it, you were like, oh, I guess there's
Yeah.
a fourth creature.
The second one right here, what we're going to do is just take, all you've done is drawn your card. So we're going to
The back table, it looks like Pascal won his first game.
What's that?
Pascal Maynard won game 1 on that back table. They're still
Game
playing.
1, huh?
Well, I mean, that was...
Okay.
I'm catching up on updates.
So it's going to be 14 all after they take back the one that just happened, the one that Josh just sort of went, hey, wait a minute.
Yep.
GRV for
Yeah, I mean, the judge guidelines are definitely set up where if something is within the last turn cycle, you can undo it. I mean, that's sort of where the unofficial line is. I mean, there's judgment involved. But sort of the default is you can undo things if they happened less than a full turn ago.
Okay, will you get paired?
Him activating an ability, it's not like
Sure.
I didn't put a creature in the freezer or something like
No, that's fine.
Here, Josh. I see Josh maybe
Yes.
making some
You'll
sort
get
of
a warning,
case
a
here.
GRV for
Possibly
the
trying to
game
get that
violation,
other 2
and then
points of
there's
life
penalty
back.
above
I
the
mean,
maintained
yeah.
board states
What I'd be
must
doing if I was
maintained
sitting in
by all
Josh's seat.
players. And it's not anything that upgrades or anything like that, but it's a warning that
It's not
they
like it
have.
has affected the board state in any way
Right.
that anybody player has acted on.
And just because we technically actually have to do the backup, have you put a card from your hand on that? It's
Okay, sounds like Jesse's going to get a
just
warning
gonna-
for a game rules
you will
violation.
draw it afterwards.
if that's a land you like.
Oh, is Josh going to get a warning for failure to maintain game state? Is that the way they just do this? And Josh
Yeah.
is complaining about...
One of my creatures.
And
It's
Josh is
reasonable
like,
to ask why he's getting
Yeah.
a warning, sure.
Bottom.
Your opponent misplays
It's
a card. Not that this is particularly new. He's probably
Right.
gotten this warning before.
this, I mean, this even predates Magic. This is like me and my younger brother growing up. I'm like, why am I getting in trouble for what he did?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
How are you doing, guys? So my understanding of the
Interesting.
situation
Josh
we've
is
had
appealing
activations of
his
the
warning
Shadows
for
Pass.
failure to maintain game state.
There have been 2 activations, I believe. One of which we are backing up, the other of which is
And
far enough
we
back
don't have
to
any
allow
other
for
Magic we can go to, so we're going
Right,
to wait
there's no
here.
camera. We haven't moved the match up to table A, have we?
Oh, yeah, we do it right. We have Alexander Hayne on Turbo.
We've got Hayne on the turbo match.
Right.
Maynard, there's not a camera on Maynard's table, but like if it's convenient to move them up to table A, we
Right.
would do that. I just don't think that has happened.
Yeah, we have to do that in between games. You can't do it
Hard to move a game in progress.
mid-game. Need a giant game spatula, right? You just slide it under the entire game and move it to another table.
Opponent activated an ability, and I think this was
It's kind of interesting. I believe Josh is holding an Unholy Hunger
So
himself.
failure to maintain game state is
Huh.
and so can kill.
players are responsible for
To put the 4th creature in the graveyard?
and it's a penalty we use for tracking to ensure that we can follow.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the
Interesting
booth.
spot.
Brian Dave Marshall, Randy Bueller. We're going to just wait for the judge to come over and deal with that.
It's an interesting spot for Josh. If he has Unholy Hunger, he's being attacked by a 4/4 flyer, but he doesn't want to turn on the Shadows of the Past and start
Right.
getting drained.
But I think he has to. One clock is faster than the other. But he does have, he can also just choose to Macabre Waltz back his Fetid Imp and play
his
that
way of dealing with the
as
4/4
way of
flyer.
dealing with that. But then he's still, yeah, that's still going to also leave him vulnerable to the Shadows of the Past. So yeah, he's
Oh, yeah, it goes to the graveyard.
yeah,
either
it doesn't
way.
matter.
Sounds like they're back.
Okay.
Did the appeal fail?
Oh, so Cruel Revival is the card, not Unholy Hunger. And he is going to Cruel Revival it. Puts a 4th creature in the yard,
No
and
zombie,
now
though.
Jesse Hampton is he's gonna scry this time because he's forgotten a couple times.
The ruling was upheld. Josh has a warning.
So scry, push the card, plays the land, and says go. Still hiding behind 10 points, 10 toughness. And honestly, from this position, Jesse can just win this game.
7 activations of Shadows of the Past.
Yeah, two more lands, and he could do it twice a turn.
Reeve Soul, not Macabre Waltz. Zombie centaurs are not very good at waltzing. They can somehow have their
Scry,
souls reeved,
push
despite
card.
being undead.
Moves the... Oh. Kithian's Phalanx. Makes 4 2/2
Hello.
night tokens.
Pretty well camouflaged, too. I mean, he has his mana untapped for Shadows of the Past activation, so Josh is just attacking into all that untapped mana, figuring it's untapped for Shadows. And down come 4
4 night tokens. Gideon's Phalanx, sorry.
Wow. Gideon and Kithian, same guy, right?
Yes. So the question is, does he have Spell Mastery? Because if he does, their creatures are indestructible until the end of the turn.
Oh, wow. What a
I
blowout.
believe he does.
There's a lot of cards in the graveyard. We know they aren't all creatures.
Wow. And
Yeah, this game is... Jesse Hampton's now winning it on multiple axes.
yeah.
He's up cards. He's ahead on board. He's got Shadows of the Past
He can
turned
scry
on.
twice here. Pushes one. Keeps the other. So I guess we know what card he kept last time. That was the Gideon's Phalanx.
Yeah. That must be what he kept when that he traded with the Deadbird Chain. And now he's up to 9 lands in play. So 1 more land and he's on double Shadows activation. Not that he needs it. I mean, those 3 2/2 Knights can plausibly win this game from here. Now, from a top 8 point of view, this is an elimination match.
There's our Guardian. Automaton, equip Enthralling Victor. Take 2 from Shadows of the Past and pass the turn back to Jesse. Jesse taps 3 mana. He's got Read the Bones. Some more scrying in his future.
Yeah, Josh Utter Leighton does have a 1 in his 6th Grand Prix slot, so he can earn pro points and further his cause for Worlds without making top 8
Right.
by going 12-3.
Right. So, draw 2 for Jesse with the Read the Bones, play a Fetid Imp, and pass the turn. Can't activate his Shadows of the Past this turn, though.
So far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
Is
doesn't
playing
matter.
Fetid Imp better than activating Shadows of the Past?
I'm not certain.
No, me neither. It's certainly going to take 13 and 2 to make top 8 at this GP.
Yeah.
As big as this one is.
So Macabre Waltz, get back a Guardian Automaton and a Fetid Imp, discard a land, plays a land, puts down a Fetid Imp. And he's going to, I think, move his equipment over. Nope. You can leave it as is. Josh fighting valiantly. He's losing this game on multiple fronts.
And down a game.
There's Way to the Underworld.
Down goes
Takes
Fedido.
down. Remembers to scry. Get in for one. I mean, Josh has done a good job of blunting those knights.
He has. The sidearms helped a lot.
Yeah.
Taking 2 toughest creature up to 3. Jesse could have attacked with all 3 knights, gotten in 2 damage, but losing 2 knights, so not exactly an attack he's interested in. When Josh is at 8.
Yep. So he's going to be able to drop him to 6 at the end of the turn with the Shadows of the Past. Untap if he left a land on top there. Well, it's time to attack, says Josh.
He can see the Shadows of the Past clock winning.
All right. So Josh gets to gain 3 life from that attack.
Kill a knight.
Plays another automaton. Jesse doesn't forget to scry there. He's already scried a card to the top. So he's like, I'm
good.
Still keeping it. Not that awkward position of scry, keep, and then scry. Oh, no, I don't want that anymore. There's a Blood Curse Knight.
Turned on by the Shadows of the Past.
Yeah, get in for 1. Josh is back to 8. Malakir Callblade. But Josh falls to 6.
Yeah, Jesse's just trying to figure out if he can close it now or if he has to give Josh one more draw step.
Grasp of the Hieromancer. Tap your Guardian. Attached with the Vigilant Knights, the Blood Curse Knight.
We have only 10 minutes left.
3 damage gets through.
For the modern MMWG.
And Josh loses both his blockers.
Register for your modern MMWG 1130.
Jesse gains life. He's headed in the other direction. Although the Blood Craze Knight does die.
Multiple scry triggers here. Pushes.
Gonna have to be a good draw step for Josh out of Leighton.
Keeps. I'll keep the 3rd one. I don't know if I would just cast anything here.
Agreed.
That's
Mountain, probably not the draw step Josh Leighton was looking for.
Wow.
Josh Leighton will not be in this top 8, but he can still pick up a couple points for Worlds if he rallies and wins the next 5.
Yeah, and Shadows of the Past takes 2 games there for Jesse Hampton.
Good point. Looked pretty good there.
All right, let's take a look at this Turbo Magic match between Channel Fireball teammates Nathan Holliday and Alexander Hayne. Hayne is on your right, Nathan Holliday on the left. And on turn 3 plays the Yeva Force Mage.
For context, by the way, sitting next to these guys, Pascal Maynard was victorious.
Okay.
Pascal won his match 2-0.
Okay.
Can Hayne answer?
Acolyte of the Inferno for Alexander Hayne. Gets in with the hasty renowned creature, trades with the Acolyte, and Yeva Force Mage gets in. Bogart Brute comes down.
Nathan Holliday on our players to watch list as well.
Yeah.
29 pro points coming into this weekend, so he needs...
Rox Mauler gets met with 2 Fire Impulses.
Do what you got to do.
Also turns on any future spell mastery. But Zendikar Incarnate.
Yeah, the big creatures keep coming.
Screeching Scob for Hayne, who gets in with his menace creature and his flyer, and then plays a Reclusive Artificer with no artifacts to speak of. So something for 6 mana. Ah, Sky Snare
Jeez.
Spider.
So many fatties for Nathan Holiday.
And Alexander Hayne says go.
These guys both came in at 7-2. So another top 8 elimination match. Wow. That's the Werewolf enchantment, right? Just
Yes.
Trample. It's like +3 power and trample. It goes away if your opponent casts 2 spells.
But late in the game, pretty different. Call of the Full Moon.
And you often just get in one nice attack where having that trample is pretty nice.
Well,
Especially
also
like
get-
you
yeah,
put it on a
getting-
renowned creature and trample over.
Getting
trigger
up to
renown.
6 toughness on the Zendikar Incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
We just Chandra's Fury from Alexander Hayne to finish off the Spider. And also, incidentally, deal 4 damage to Nathan Holiday.
Full Moon is out, though. We hear its call. More?
Wild
Instincts.
Instincts.
Yeah.
That's the game. Nathan Holiday takes it down. Red-green fatties.
That's what Red-Green does. Yeah, Nathan needs a 12-3 this weekend to get gold. So it's a big tournament for him.
So Screeching Scob for Alexander Hayne, who's clearly playing an artifact deck, even though it didn't look like it in game 1. There's a Ram Roller.
Force Mage gets the nobody to give a bonus to, but he just wanted to trade with the 2-1. Definitely Alex on the front foot this game.
But Zendikar Incarnate says stop.
Oh, there's the
Oh,
artifact.
well, that's
for
the
Ram
artifact,
Roller.
huh? And so, yeah.
Now it's a trade rather than a chump attack.
Wow, Pia and Noir. Pia and
Pia and Kieran Noir. Seismic Elemental, usually better when you have things to attack with after your opponent loses the ability to block.
But
I
the
mean,
Bogart
4/4
Brood
body
has
for 5
menace.
is serviceable.
Oh, and then the Prickle Boar. 5/3 first strike on Alexander Hayne's turn.
Dustin Lee and Robbie
Llanowar Empath. I didn't see what creature he drew with that.
It was a hit. I just didn't see the creature. Nathan up a game. Hayne trying to answer Pascal Maynard's win already this round.
Chump blocks. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex gets that one.
So Pia and Kieran each take a shot and finish Nathan off there.
So we go to game 3.
Honored Hierarch on turn 1. But a Bonded Construct taunts the Hierarch.
Yeah, Construct can't attack alone, but it can block.
Oh, it can block all day. Well, once usually.
Blocking is really important in this format.
And
though.
here goes Yeva
Oh.
Force Mage on the Honored Hierarch. Gets to force that through.
Bonded Construct trades for Timberpack Wolf, though. It's pretty good.
Acolyte of the Inferno. Mana Gorger Hydra.
Wow.
You have a limited window of opportunity here.
Well, there's a spell. Wonder if Nathan's going to cast spells. Yeah, Mana Gorger Hydra. +1/+1 counter every time anyone plays a spell.
Yeah, and it has trample. There's a Sky Snare Spider.
Please raise your hand and call for one. Once again, Grand Prix players, that is time for round.
Yeah, Nathan's not going to risk his Mana Gorger Hydra in combat.
No, not
You
just yet.
just let it sit there. Let it cook for a little while till it's bigger than everything. It will eventually be big enough to fight everything on the opponent's side of the
Acolyte
board.
of the Inferno continues to get in.
Sure. Now, speaking of creatures that are hard to deal with. All right, trigger. Now it's a 4/4.
Plays an Undercity Troll.
All right.
He does manage to finish it off with a fire.
It's only a 2-for-1, but
Yeah.
Undercity Troll, Nathan Holliday's just got too much. So Alexander